Hi all, today I'm going to be sharing with you what I've read. I have 4 books to share with you. The first being Homegoing by Yagasi. This is about 2 stepsisters, Effia and Effie, who don't know one another. Effia is married to a white slaver, and Essie ends up being a slave in the United States. The story progresses through each generation of these families, and you get to see how each generation affects the present and the future. What I really loved about this book is the fact that even though each chapter is told through a different person, the story and the characters are fleshed out, realistic, and you feel like you get to know who they are and what's going on with each of the stories, and it's pretty easy to know what the connections and the themes for this book is. This was a very moving and powerfully told story, but I also felt it was a little bit too perfect, especially with the way she ended it. She made the connections a little bit too obvious there. We could have done with a little bit more subtlety in that aspect, but overall, I had to give it 5 stars because this was just the most beautifully and wonderfully written book I've read for a while. Other than In the Shadow of the Banyan, this is definitely close up to that one in that aspect, but I also didn't feel like it had as much of a powerful impact as it could have because of how neat the package was, if that makes sense. I read Welcome to the Monkey House by Kurt Vonnegut. This is a short story collection. I read the title story and that definitely turned me off of the collection. I started losing interest pretty quickly after that one, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that it deals with rape, and I'm just not really sure if I can be okay with how he handled it there. I mean, if you've read this one, I would love to hear your perspective on this, but the way it ended made me feel uncomfortable with what the author was trying to say about rape. I mean, I get this was all about population and stuff, but he uses this rapist to kind of get that point across, and I didn't really appreciate that because, you know, rape is wrong, and it almost felt like he wasn't saying that. Like, I don't know. He wasn't condoning it, but he wasn't condemning it either, and that I didn't really like. So I had to give this 2 stars. The third book that I read was The Year of Magical Thinking by Joan Didion. This is her memoir about how her daughter becomes ill, and as she's in the hospital in a coma, her husband dies from a heart attack, I believe, and it's all about the grief and mourning that she goes through after that. There's a lot of things in this book that resonated with me that I would have loved to have been able to highlight if this was my own copy, and I thought her story was very honestly and movingly told. I just was so moved by her story. It is just really heartbreaking to think of not only about her husband dying, but the illness that her daughter was going through at this time. But I did end up giving it 3 stars because I think that for the fact that this is such a personal story, she makes it impersonal by the fact that she kind of goes into these medical tangents where she's just talking about all these medical jargons and terms, and so in the end I felt like I was being disconnected and being held at arm's length because of that. I don't know, it could have definitely been because of the grief that was causing that, and that was part of the process, and I could definitely see that being a possibility, but for me it definitely took me a little bit out of the reading because of that. And you will be surprised to know that I read a YA book, which was Illuminated by Amy Kaufman and Jay Kristoff, and surprise, surprise, not really, I did not like it. I don't even know why I torture myself by picking this up, but I did. So if you do not know for some reason what this is about Katie and Ezra who have just broken up, yet they end up saving each other as they try to escape from the planet that is being destroyed, and they are rescued by this one spaceship, Alexander, and it's about how they start realizing that there's secrets going on, and Katie decides that she's going to figure what that is. I really don't care one way or the other about the style. I mean, is cool. It's a little bit different than what other things I've seen that's similar to this, but I think it was a detriment to the story. It was such a quick read that I felt like you never really got a chance to get to know the characters all that well or really get into the nitty-gritty of the story. And I really did not like how close in certain things it was to Star Trek. Maybe it has to do with the fact that I'm watching Star Trek right now, and a lot of the things they're similar to here, and or rather the opposite, and I didn't really appreciate how I felt like they're just taking the framework of certain things from Star Trek and just dashing it into the story and trying to make it their own. It doesn't really work because I can definitely tell that this was Star Trek inspired thing, if you want to call it inspired. Overall, it was just another example of YA being unoriginal, and it definitely turned me sour for this book. I also didn't really like how quick the turnover was between Ezra and Katie's relationship. You know, one moment they're sort of hating each other, or rather Katie's hating him, and then the next moment they're all boo-booing mushy stuff over each other, and I'm just like, seriously? I mean, I appreciated how the fact that it started out in a different aspect with their relationship, but I do not appreciate how quickly they seemed to be becoming a couple again. And with the way it ended, I mean, seriously, you're creating 2 other books, right? Why don't you spread it out there? Overall, a predictable, unoriginal story with YA cliches and tropes that I really don't appreciate. So in the end, I had to give it 1.5 stars. I mean, really, we should not be surprised that I did not like a YA novel. I've struggled so much with YA and how unoriginal they are with their stories, and how it just seems that authors are just copycatting each other because it's what pays, and that just really irks me. There you go, that's my little rant for the day. Tell me down below if you read any of these. I would love to chat with you down below about them. Thank you all so much for watching, and keep smiling.